Today, I want to ask a question about vote by mail. I live in a state where voting by mail is, since the early 90s, has been the way we vote. We send in our ballots via, our parties. We receive them based upon our choices. And I'm a non-party. I chose not to belong to any party. I don't vote as an independent. I don't vote as any party. I have my own mind, and I don't need a group of people to help me decide what I think is best. So I just chose, in that sense, to not be in a party. And voting by mail, as I understand it, is perfectly fine. In fact, there are some safety measures in voting by mail that are not available, I believe, in a precinct. Now, I could be mistaken, of course. I have limited knowledge. I'm just one human. But what happens is you get your ballot, you get a primary ballot, you get a general election ballot, when the times are right, and you get it about a month before the actual election. So you get lots of time to look it over and consider your options and vote. And so for many reasons, I think it's a more informed vote. But the question is, will we as a country experience voter fraud as a result of voting by mail? And again, I personally think that a voting machine that has a software program that has the ability to take what you say and in its mathematical language misinterpret what you've voted on, this could just be part of the landscape in that environment. So I feel like it's not something that is harmful to us to vote by mail. In fact, I think it does allow our voices to be heard. And so I would like to ask the cards today a question. Is voting by mail safe? And is it the right thing to do, given that at this time we have a virus that we don't really fully understand, and our response to it at this time is at best a guessing game. I think we are starting to figure some things out, but we're not there yet. So is voting by mail the natural solution to the problems we currently face? So with that, we will begin. Okay, so we will be using the Emmy Brady Tarot deck. And the question is, are you safe voting by mail? Is your vote safe voting by mail? I live in a community, I did live in a community for many years that is very serious about their Republican vote. And some of them, I've seen things where they're saying they don't feel like their vote is now safe in the vote by mail, but they've been voting by mail here in the state I live in for years. So, I'm not sure what this herd think is, but, I understand that people do have, in lots of ways, a hive mind. We function in some ways. We function as we're compelled by each other. We are influenced by each other, and you may think a thought, and suddenly I say it because that is really literally how we are. We're individuals, but we're very dependent spiritually, socially, emotionally on each other. So, is your vote safe by mail? Are you going to be harmed if you vote by mail? Okay, let's just keep going. Will you be harmed? Is your vote going to count if you vote by mail? And I like vote by mail myself because, it does allow me time to think about what I'm doing. I don't have the pressure of being at a precinct in a little box with people standing in line wanting to do their vote. I don't have all that pressure. I can just simply think it through in a conscientious way. And I believe our vote is important. Whether or not it counts right now is not something I can really honestly say. Okay. But I want our votes to count. I want us to have a voice in society. Okay, so here we go. Will your vote be safe? Okay. Amy Brady. And at the bottom of the pack, this card, Daughter of Roots. Like, information is developing. It's underground still. It's coming forward. So that is the bottom of our pack. Okay, that is at the bottom. And where this starts out is your vote safe? Well, currently there is an effort to oppress your vote. And you should ask yourself why that is. Why would there be a desire to oppress my vote? I think that it's very possible that at this time that we're experiencing a changing of the guard. And change is always painful. It's always scary. And I think that there are people that are trying to keep this change from taking place, because change does create fear in all of us in many, many ways. So right now, the energy is oppressive. And it is crossed by the star. Sometimes the star kind of worries me a little. I don't know why, but it does. But in this case, I'm not feeling like this is a poor message, or that this is going to somehow harm us. It is saying that it's coming from on high. I personally believe that we don't have a laws of man. We actually truly have what is universal law, and we know what that universal law is in our souls. And right now we're not following it, and as a result of it, it has led to this really chaotic time. So I think we might be starting to really dig down in and look at what we've got going on here. Although there have been places where voting by mail has been a standard way of voting for many years and not fraud. I mean, I have not heard that people that are elected or not elected feel some great need to be doing audits of the vote, because they're not, it's just not a fraudulent system. Okay, and one of the things that occurs to me with this card, and this is a past position card, is that by having us go into the precincts and vote, it gave them a lot of advantage. They were able to look down and maybe manage us and how we vote a little better by having us come into precincts. So this is a past position. And also in a past, recent past, probably right now, recent, it's leading to conflict. It's a very contentious issue. And I guess I find myself sort of troubled by the fact that people who previously voted by mail all of a sudden have forgotten how safe it has been and how it has worked, and they want to say that it is a poor system, and that's just not been what I've seen. So I will say that I don't agree with that particular perspective. what goes on below is it's kind of created a situation where we've maintained a certain type of government because of this. By keeping our vote in a certain way, the question is, have we had fair elections? Have we really voted people in, or is that in of itself also an illusion? I would say that it is a system that is meant to work a certain way that at this time is not working properly. And by voting by mail, it arms us. It arms us with the ability to have a voice, which is, again, part of that universal law. We are meant to be told the truth. We are meant to have a voice. And we individually have a moral compass that guides us. And provided we're living in ways that are healthy and appropriate, we're aware of that. Voting by mail will help us arm ourselves in some truth. It'll help us gather ourselves and really vote if we can see this through. This is a beginning of a new journey. So yes, I think we are going to switch over to vote by mail. I think it is going to be a painful process because we have a lot of resistance at this time from people. But as the Fool suggests, it is the beginning of a new journey. We are about to start a new process. So yes, we're going to do something different. We have the card altruism. Is there an ulterior motive to vote by mail? Well, of course there is. I think that maybe we as people might be realizing that we do need to use our voices. We do need to stand up and we need to step forward. And we need to say, look, this is the laws of the universe. This is the laws of our lands. And we want those laws followed. So, voting by mail. We're going to feel in our hopes and fears position optimism. We are going to feel good about the idea as we move forward in this. There will be resistance, no doubt about it. But as we move forward, for us, the people who are looking for our way forward, this is going to be like water given to you while you're trekking across the desert. We need this. This is an important transition. To conclude, when we vote, it is going to take discipline because it is a change. It means you get your ballot, you fill it out, you put it in your special envelope, you sign your special envelope, and you seal it. You then put it in the mail or drive it to your local voting area, your county vote area. So with that, I do believe that vote by mail is going to become how we vote. And I believe that it will result in a more fair evaluation and voting process. And the people are going to begin to be heard. And with that, I would ask you to please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And if you would like to have a personal reading or an astrology reading, please contact me at www.twiggy.com. Thank you very much for joining me here today.